This video is brought to you by
Man said bad to you.
Chili's.
Man can't speak anymore. Impaired speech. This video is bad to you by... Alright, welcome back to the channel. And today, because I have Michael with me, I thought we should make a discussion video. So he doesn't actually know what topic we're talking about today, which is a very good thing. So his opinions are going to not have been pre-scripted, or, you know, he wouldn't have prepared for these responses beforehand. So today, what we're talking about is the gatekeeping in the fashion industry and fashion kind of like elitism. So first thing I'm going to ask is, like, what do you feel about that? How do you think about that sort of stuff?
Well, I mean, between me and you already know my opinions. Like, I really can't stand the people who are like really elitist.
Yeah.
Because I'd say there's definitely tiers to the elitism. So like, a tier I feel anyone into fashion has that is like just natural and subconscious is like, okay, when I see a person and they're not wearing like a hard outfit, or like their outfit doesn't work, or it's like H&M. In my head, I'm obviously a bit like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But then you have the people that are like, oh, if you're not wearing Rick Owens and Andamulamista, you don't know fashion. And it's like, bro, like...
Those are the CCP boys, the CCP boys that do that.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely not a fan of it. I think I can understand why you might get a bit bored of like hype beasts or people who always wear the same. Yeah. Like people who all dress the same, the sheep. Right. And I can see why subconsciously you might look down on them a bit. Yeah. But I don't think you should actively be like looking down on people. Yeah. And, like, yeah, you get them.
Yeah, I agree to some point. Okay, so a good topic within this like gatekeeping is, so recently, last Fashion Week, the British Fashion Council, they started selling tickets to certain shows. It's kind of weird though, because they didn't sell tickets to like the big shows like Burberry, and they only sold tickets to like Alexa Chung and like shows like that no one cares about anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
What do you feel about that? Because this goes into the gatekeeping of the fashion industry.
The BFFC are scamming it. Like, everyone who bought every ticket bought, that person just got frauded.
Yeah, facts.
And they also like, if you read it, it says, oh, it comes with like a VIP this. No, I swear it says stuff like, oh, you get a special look at showrooms. But realistically, if you're at showrooms, I mean, if you're at Fashion Week, showrooms are just free.
Like,
and like
literally.
Like,
but when you go to Fashion Week, like, there's something called the fashion space. And that's where like all the showrooms are anyway. Yeah. So if you've been to any show at Fashion Week, it means you've seen the showrooms, because you have to walk through the showrooms to get to where the fashion shows are held. So for menswear, it's at the Truman Brewery, which is in Shoreditch. For women's wear, it's the Strand. So this whole thing where they said you get VIP access when everyone sits in the same place, then they said you get access to exclusive showrooms, which everyone who goes to Fashion Week sees. It's just a
scam. And it's not even like you're seeing like a big show.
You're not even seeing the good shows, Like, no offense to Alexa Chung, like, I love Alexa Chung, but like, seriously, she's not Burberry. She's not
exactly.
Like, if I'm gonna pay money,
if you're gonna, I know, and it's not cheap. It's like £150 for a ticket. It's not cheap. Like, it's crazy.
I also feel like, okay, this is going to gatekeeping, so I wouldn't say like I'm a fashion elitist or whatever, but I definitely feel like, some people disagree with me when I say stuff like this, but it's like, fashion should be accessible, but to a certain limit. And I feel like, let's say Fashion Week, for example, if the people that went to Fashion Week, like if they made the bigger shows, they were selling tickets to the bigger shows as well, that has now become, people who work in the industry and really interested in fashion go to Fashion Week. It'll change to like just people with money. And anytime you just let something happen, like be open to just people with money, things just get broken down, because they won't care about fashion that much. They're just like, oh, I've got £1 million. Oh, it's £200 to go to the Burberry show. That's fun. I'm gonna go. And then they're taking the space of, let's say, someone like me who was like really into fashion, and I worked really hard. And then when I finally started working in the industry, I had a way to go to Fashion Week. So in that respect, I feel like if you sell too much of like fashion tickets and stuff like that, and it becomes too accessible, like too much, then it's going to get to the point where the whole mystique and what makes fashion so exciting is going to kind of fizzle away. But what do you feel about that?
I think, if I'm being really blunt, realistically, if you need to buy your way into fashion shows, you probably shouldn't be going to them.
Yeah.
Because they'll, in the sense that not you don't deserve to go to it or you don't deserve to see the runway, but it's just very likely that there's someone out there who needs to go to that show more than you did.
Yeah.
Because there'll be someone who's a buyer at a store and needs to,
Exactly.
because ultimately all these shows and runways, they don't have unlimited spaces.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's inside a building normally, even if it's outside, there's a set amount of chairs or a set amount of space in a room. Like, it's not unlimited. So if you're someone that needs to pay £150, which isn't even cheap, it's not like it's £10-20 at the door or something. If you're someone that needs to pay like £150 to come and see a show, you're probably someone that isn't that deep within the industry, so doesn't have a need to see that show. You seeing that show is not crucial to you doing your job, whereas someone who's like a buyer needs to go to a show and ideally see the garments, see what they want to then buy for their store and sell to their customers, so they can make a livelihood for themselves and the brand that they're going to be selling. Like, it just doesn't make sense, which is clearly why they selected very low profile shows that they're going to give you if you buy tickets. Because they know that the higher profile shows are aimed and oriented at specific people who need to be at the runway.
Exactly, because if you're a designer, if I was a designer, I'd never sell tickets to the public, because I want, first of all, buyers. Those are the most important people because they bring the money. Secondly, you have the journalists who cover your show, and then they're like media and they kind of create the buzz and let more people, the press, they make your brand, you know, people become more aware of your brand through the press. And then of course there's just some other people, pockets of like maybe stylists. You want stylists to see your stuff because, let's say a celebrity stylist, if they like your clothes, maybe they might use your clothes and put it on a celebrity.
And realistically, that's the best thing that can happen to a brand. Like.
So really you just want the stylist, the press, or the media guys. You want the buyers. Those are the type of people who go to Fashion Week. So it's work. I know it's like fun and there's mystique around Fashion Week, but it's work. And I feel like people don't see how serious it is. So in terms of gatekeeping of the fashion industry, that's the only place where I'm like, we need to hold back a bit from all this like selling of tickets.
But then in a way they are, because they're not giving you, like, if I'm buying a ticket, I'm not going to see Kiko Costanza.
Well, yeah.
Or like anyone like that big.
You're not going to buy a ticket and be able to go to like a Cold Wall or like Kiko
because
Costanza
when I first heard that they were doing it, I thought they were kind of doing it to reignite London Fashion Week, because if we're being honest, compared to stuff like Paris, even Milan, London's kind of dying a bit. London brands are moving away. Like, just the other day it was confirmed that a Cold Wall is moving to Milan, Kiko Kostanov is moving to Paris. So lots of brands, British brands, are moving away from London Fashion Week. So when I first heard about that at the time, I was like, oh, maybe they're doing it, you can buy into any show to just kind of reignite some hype or something. And then I read into it and I was like, okay, that's just not what they're doing. So they're just scamming people. Like it's a
hilarious.
Scam.
Like they literally said you get access to exclusive showrooms.
It's just cap.
I'm like, exclusive show. Do you know how easy it is to go to the into the showrooms? Like, exclusive. What?
And the thing is, okay, let's say
makes no sense.
You found a way to sneak your way into into a runway and sit down to watch the show. There is a chance you could be sitting in someone else's seat and get kicked out. But if you went to a showroom, like, no one's gonna, you can't get kicked out of a showroom.
Then, so another topic I want to talk about is style. Because gatekeeping in fashion, a lot of it comes down to style.
What I said at the start.
And like, you know, the whole thing where it's like, if you don't wear like Rick Owens or whatever, then you can't dress.
If you don't wear Rick Owens, you can't hang out with me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. If you're near me, I'll cover my eyes.
But bro, I don't. So when it comes to me and style, I realized that there's so many different styles.
Many.
It's really hard to objectively say, oh, that style is bad, that style is good. However, what I do notice though is like people who are like world renowned for being stylish, yet what they wear is like what everyone else wears. So so necessarily the style might not be bad, it's just not unique.
Yeah.
Or it's not individual to them, it's more what they do or what they wear is just to get approval or likes or whatever they're trying to get, or clout, whatever it's called. So that's the only thing I do notice. But people having drastically different styles, to me, they can still dress well. I think that's where people get it wrong. People think if people are in this circle of like avant-garde and all they wear is like Yoji, Rick, and D, then they look down upon people wearing Dior and LV, and then those people look down on people wearing Supreme, and that's where it's a bit dicey because they're different, genuinely different styles. But yeah, how do you feel about that?
I hate it so much. I just think it's just so pointless. Because one, the thing is, if I had all the money in the world, I could go to Gucci and buy a certain outfit, and I could then go to Andamula and buy a certain outfit and make them look similar, like fairly similar, because there just will be Gucci pieces out there that look similar, that have a similar aesthetic to an Andamula piece or a Yoji Yamamoto piece. So the fact that it just doesn't make sense to look down on me saying, oh, my brand isn't as good as yours, when realistically an outfit comes down to the aesthetics, not the brand.
Yeah.
So, and the reason you support those brands is because it has a certain aesthetic, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can't get that aesthetic somewhere else. Yeah, that brand, let's say Yoji, they're specialized in that aesthetic and they're very good at it, but that doesn't mean that aesthetic is nowhere else.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that's a really big reason why I don't like it when people do that, because they're acting as if it's not impossible for me to dress like them wearing different brands. So it doesn't make sense for you to look down on me. Yeah. And if the reason you're looking down on me is because of the cost of the clothing, well then they still look down on, I mean, Andy's pretty much the same price as like Gucci.
Yeah.
So why are you looking down on those people? So there's no real reason for it to happen other than wanting to feel elite, I find.
Yeah, and I feel like also it's also how people wear things. So like people just see, let's say, a rapper like Gunna.
Yeah.
Who dresses very I wear expensive clothes, I'm on drip, like I just slap
Gunna's
Gucci.
The real dripper. That's Gunna's fear.
I just slap Gucci and Louis Vuitton on all my garments and I have drip. People see Gucci worn like that by so many people and rappers, and come to the conclusion Gucci is trash, instead of looking at what's on the runway, seeing how amazing it is, and then seeing maybe other people who wear completely different to that. And also, it's also this thing of like the elitism within people are like, oh, you wear that brand, that's what fucking Gunna wears.
I won't lie, in my head, I'm not going to say what brand it is because it'll just trigger people. But there is
what
a brand
that you have to say.
There is a brand in my head that it's just because I've seen it worn badly. I've never seen it worn well, other than on the runway.
What brand is that?
I'm just not going to say it because people are just going to get triggered. No, it's like in the UK. It's probably not even the same in the US, but in the UK, for me, I just can't stand seeing Kenzo. Because
that's fact.
if you live in the UK, you'll understand like the way people wear Kenzo to the type of people who wear Kenzo. Like, there's just no way for me to look at that brand the same ever again. Yeah. And I look at the stuff on the runway and I'm like, yeah, this is hard. But then I walk down the street and I see someone wearing like, like, you get the point. But I don't know. But I do, yeah. There's just, people feel like because rappers and lots of people in the limelight wear something in a certain way, that brand is trash, when it's like, no, it's just how they're wearing it.
Yeah, I know I think it comes down to bias as well. Like that thing you said about Kenzo, because they're really good stuff on the runway. Buyers know that it won't sell. Exactly. Yeah. So buyers know it won't sell to their customer base, which is roadmen and people who like want to show that they wear expensive clothing. So they want the big Kenzo tiger to show, my jacket's expensive or whatever. They know that those type of people won't buy a Kenzo kimono and stuff like that. So the buyers don't even buy it in the first place. So it just comes down to...
Which feeds into the cycle.
Yeah, it comes down to the store. So like buyers at DSM will probably go for more experimental stuff than buyers at Selfridges.
Yes,
and
definitely.
And Kenzo is stocked in Selfridges, not DSM. I can assure you, if DSM said we're going to start stocking Kenzo next year, their buyers are going to buy all the more experimental stuff like the kimonos and stuff, and it's actually going to be quite cool. So yeah, that's once again going back to, that's why I can't say Kenzo's trash, because I know what Kenzo does, like from the creative side of things.
No, but I don't even think it's trash.
Most people wear the tiger stuff,
At the moment, like just because of the tiger stuff and like the way people wear it, I can't stand like seeing the brand. And I know it's a bit hypocritical of what I said earlier, but like in my mind, I know it's not trash. Yeah. Whereas like lots of people genuinely be like, "Oh, Gucci is trash." Yeah. It's just not. So yeah, that's my kind of take on all of that.
So another topic actually is this is something we were talking about earlier. This is more to do with how people don't understand like Instagram isn't real life to a certain extent. So we can talk about what we were saying before. Do you want to talk about it?
So what we were kind of saying before is that basically people follow influencers on Instagram and they think that, oh, this person posts these outfits, this must be, they're on drip, this must be what they wear every day, like, and it's like, well, no, 9 times out of 10, that's not how they dress every day. That's how they dress for their Instagram photo. Every day they don't wear Moncler Craig Green to school, like, like they do it when they want to dress up for Instagram. And the same thing works vice versa. When some people just don't happen to post pictures of their outfits, people will be like, oh, they must not have any good fits. And it's like, well, no, maybe they just don't post pictures of them. Like,
yeah, so, okay, where this conversation stemmed from was, we made a video a while ago. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, but anyway, some of the comments were like, people were saying, oh, I went onto your Instagram and like you're not even stylish, and all you wear in videos is like, what did they say?
He was like, you only wear Migos tees and fake off-white shirts.
So like, because I was wearing like my friend's brand, he makes like print tees or whatever. Yeah. But it's so funny because like on Instagram, I post maybe like once
every like blue moon.
Once every like blue moon. So like to me, Instagram is not like a fit where I post fits. I just wear clothes I like, and the whole culture of people feel the need to show people, I have Rick Owens and all that stuff. I got away from it, so that's why I don't really post fit pictures. Like if you see me day to day, then you'll see me wear Rick Owens. Like I'm not trying to flex, but like it's facts or whatever. But in videos, like now, where am I? In my house.
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
people need to understand that.
People think I'm gonna go and get, I don't know, one of my pieces to wear in a video. So that's why most videos I just wear a t-shirt or a hoodie because that's what I wear at home.
People act like you're gonna go and put on like all your coats and
so really that's going back to the thing where people need to realize Instagram isn't real life.
Yeah.
So like this is a whole thing because people are like, oh my god, in your videos all you wear are like t-shirts. Yeah, because I'm at home. Like I'm not gonna wear a Rick jacket or like some Issey Miyake like shirt or whatever just because I'm trying to flex.
And what's funny is, I'm sure if we dressed up and tried to flex, people would comment like, why are you trying to flex?
Yeah, why are you overdressing?
So like, there's no winning. There's no winning on the internet. If I went on and put on like all my pieces, someone would be like, why are you dressing so hard?
Yeah. Like, why are you trying so hard, bruh? Yeah, like, literally, people would actually say that. So, yeah, it's hilarious. If you guys get me to 100k subscribers, I promise people that if I get to 100k, which probably won't happen, that's why I promised it. That's why I promised it. I'll actually make a video on like everything I own, all the clothes. But just the concept of like going on Instagram and like posting outfits every day and like trying to flex, and it's just not me. Like honestly, it's just
I don't even post much. So I'd say I post on Instagram about once a month in terms of like a fit pic. Yeah. And that's all I do post if I do post. So I post a fit pic about once a month. But like, at least if you know me in real life, you'll know all my fit pics would be like a fit that I would just wear from day to day. Nothing's like, over the top, like
just
flexing
done
or
for
anything.
Instagram.
Just done for Instagram. It'll just be. Oh, I look nice today. Let me just get a picture and document this for myself.
Yeah.
So that I can look back on it in 6 months or in 1 year or in 2 years and be like, oh wow, my style's changed so much. So
Yeah.
that's like as far as I would never like just go out of my way, like put on something that I would never even wear in like day-to-day life and then like post it.
Yeah.
Like that's not
Yeah, but that's honestly, because we were talking about this earlier, that's why like we laugh when we see those comments where they go on your Instagram and they're like, oh, he can't even dress, and they just make an assumption based on like 5 pictures on your Instagram that must be how you dress every day. I find that quite hilarious, to be honest. So people associate Instagram with your life.
Yeah,
like, this must be how
people, which is so funny because it's the exact opposite. It's firstly, everything on Instagram is a picture or a video. A picture or a video is literally a snapshot of something. It is just one moment of a continuity of things. So it can't be your whole life.
Yeah.
Like social media, it's physically impossible for social media to be your whole life unless you're filming 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
So even if like people just take social media and Instagram, I think, too seriously. People think that people with a lot, when they show all their money off on Instagram, people are like, oh, he must be rich. Well, I mean, no, I could go to the ATM right now, withdraw 100 and just put it on Instagram. Like,
or you could just like buy clothes, take a fit. This is another thing that influencers do, where they buy loads of clothes, like designer clothes, take fit pics with it, return it, buy more designer clothes, take fit pics with it, return it. Everyone's like, oh my god, I like your style, I like this, I like that. Those people don't even like the clothes they wear. Yeah, they're literally doing it because they're trying to gain a following and then earn loads of money through likes. They don't even care. Flex,
looking like they have money they don't like. And
yeah, that whole Instagram thing, I
don't want people to take it like we don't like Instagram or we don't like fit pics. Because trust me, I like fit pics. Like a lot of my inspiration, or just a lot of putting me on new brands, new ideas, new style, will be from seeing other people's fit pics and stuff on Instagram. But it's just, we just want to make it clear that to people that like it's not real life.
Facts.
Like it's not real life. Simple as.
So on the topic of fashion gatekeeping, how do you feel about high-end brands that go to the extent that they would burn like millions of their clothing items just to make sure that it doesn't get in the wrong hands or their brand doesn't get like oversaturated? So how do you feel about it? Because I know it was big like last year where Burberry did that and a lot of other brands. So like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's wasteful. I mean, everyone, there's no one who's going to say it's not wasteful.
Yeah.
But I think it just proves that lots of these brands are wasteful.
Yeah.
Because at the level, the kind of brands that do that are at the highest level. Your LVs, your Dior. In fact, did Dior even do it?
No,
to be honest,
I didn't think any story came out with Dior, but definitely LV and Burberry.
Your LVs, your Burberrys, and so these are brands at the highest level in terms of, one, they generally get the most turnover. They have the most money being put into these brands, which means, in my eyes at least, it just can't be that difficult to hire an analyst who can estimate roughly how many of the goods you're gonna sell, and then from using that knowledge then produce roughly that amount. Because let's say he estimated you'd sell 10,000, so you made 10,000 and only 9,000 and 550 sell, so you have 400 extra bags. Selling 400 extra bags won't affect the brand too much. So that doesn't matter. Like selling those 4 extra for like,
once they hit their profit margins, anything else doesn't matter to them.
So whereas like clearly if they're making so much that selling it for a lower price would ruin the exclusivity of LV, that means that they're really seriously overproducing. So I don't see why. So I think it's lazy that they don't just hire someone and find out how much they're going to sell roughly, and those kind of things are
and
pretty
not
accurate.
Overproduce.
And not overproduce. Like those kind of guys, they're pretty accurate, and even if they're not, like, it's better than nothing. I don't know. I just feel like there must be some sort of way to end up not burning them, but still keep the condition and prestige of your brand intact.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just think it's crazy that brands literally can just burn millions of pounds worth.
And it
of
also
clothes.
gives a little bit of insight into how much it costed to make those kind of things.
Exactly.
It gives a lot.
For the fact they could just dispose of it so easily. And that's why brands like, I don't know, Rick Owens and stuff, they can't, their stuff is not as disposable because
nowhere near as disposable.
it's too difficult to make, like the material, and they don't earn as much money as like a Louis Vuitton. Because so it's not that, and that's why I don't like buying things from like those bigger brands like Burberry and Louis Vuitton, because genuinely,
like, I don't want to just jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like just break it down a bit for people. Like, if you think about it, when they're burning clothes, that means they weighed up selling those remaining clothes at a lower price, let's say half price,
against brand image,
against
literally
brand image, and decided that it's more cost effective for them as a brand to somehow burn clothing that they've produced.
Instead of sell it for lower prices.
They think, and they probably do, make more money by burning that.
Yeah.
Like, think about how crazy that is. So that means they probably just produced the bags and the... Because I feel like it's predominantly bags.
Well, it's really tactical because if Louis Vuitton starts going on sale a lot, it's going to be like Michael Kors or like Marc Jacobs, and eventually it'll just fizzle out of relevance. They would rather burn all these clothes, but at least they'll like still be relevant and still be seen as a luxury brand.
I think it's also because if it's a brand that you know goes on sale a lot, you'll be like, oh, I'll just wait till the sale. And you'll never buy stuff at full price.
That's facts. That's like me with Y3. Y3 always goes on sale, and I love Y3. So I'm just like, anytime I see something I like, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna wait for the sale.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, some brands do get lost in that.
I feel like it would feed into that if it went on sale a lot.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like it. I mean, I don't work there, so I don't know. But I struggle to understand how it could be much harder than just hiring an analyst, finding out roughly how much to produce, because those things are scarily accurate.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it might be out by like 1,000, but 1,000 bags or 2,000 bags or even 3,000 bags divided across how many countries are in the world, that's like not very much extra bags per country. So like, I just don't see why it could be that hard. But I don't know. I mean, we don't work there, so maybe there's something more complicated going on.
There might be some logistics in it that will be it'll be like really difficult to change.
Yeah.
However, a big brand, there must be a way.
Yeah,
like
just must
they
be
have the money, the resources, everything.
And even if there's not, there's a way to just hire. They have the money to hire a thinker who can come into the brand and help them think about a way to solve it. So I don't know. I think it's lazy.
That's facts.
The conclusion of that. That they're being lazy.
But yeah, that's literally I think that's all we wanted to talk about, unless you have some more topics.
Not for right now. We might save those for another video.
Yeah.
Or just because I think a lot of these topics actually just stem from us like talking, and like our day-to-day conversations, and then we're like, oh, maybe we should just make a video on it and see what people think.
Yeah, because I know like I used to do discussion videos like a while ago, and people really like just to see like people just sit down, talk about topics in fashion, just like casually. So yeah, I'm definitely going to involve a lot more of these videos. So our Instagram accounts are also on the screen if you want to follow any of us. Like I said earlier in this video, don't expect me to post outfits. I think my Instagram is more for like fashion inspiration. I like post like or everything that's happening in the fashion industry on my story and stuff like that. I don't really post fit pictures, to be honest, and when I do, it's a meme. Like one of the pictures I posted, I was like talking about me being a chef because I was wearing an apron, and then another one I was like B-Tech McQueen. But yeah, it's
like,
jokes,
I think my account's more just for my fit pics, and then my story is just a lot of my day-to-day life in terms of like what I'm doing in styling, asking people for help, inspiration, offering assistant jobs if I have any to offer. But yeah, so definitely comment below your opinions on it. Tell us stuff we don't know. Tell us your thoughts.
And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Like I said, more discussion videos are coming, so hopefully you guys do enjoy these videos.
Yeah, you're in it. Better than me. This guy. Yeah, that's better. Which one loosens this rotation?
Which one?
Actually, to be honest, no, it's calm anyway.
Oh.
It's calm actually.
Up or down? Jump or down? Tell me when you're ready, Holmes. Compadre.
Well, what are we talking about? Am I going in blind?
Oh yeah, you're going in blind, bro.
Okay.
I'm the anchor.
Okay.
Tell me when you're ready, compadre. Compadre. Tell me when you're ready, Holmes.
Yeah. This video is sponsored by Chili's.
Yeah, I wish.
So that's how all of Cohen Frost episodes start. This video is brought to you by
the Cash App.
remember when he was just throwing money at people, and then they were like, Cohen, you're not supposed to be.
Their
doing
representative
that.
was like, Cohen, not supposed to be throwing money at people. Like, what are you doing?
No, they were like, Cohen, you're supposed to get people to download the app first. He was like, I don't care.
That guy is a retard.
It's so funny.
Oh my god.
Those videos were so funny.
And his clown shoes, bro.
I don't know, one time we had a discussion and basically I was saying that like sometimes to me like it doesn't even matter like as much about the fit itself. It's about how you look in the fit and your confidence in it. And you were like, that matters to you less. To you it's just about the outfit.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite an interesting
True.
discussion, because there'll be a lot of people who see my side and a lot of people who see your side.
Yeah.
That's just interesting. Okay, anyway, but
That's a good topic though.